Stock market taking a hit as big tech and oil companies warn COVID-19 is taking a toll on their businesses. But National Economic Council Director Larry Kudlow has hope for next year.
We're going to take another bad hit in the second quarter because of the national shutdown, because of the virus. On the other hand, the Congressional Budget Office and private forecasters seem to agree with President Trump that the second half economy is going to show very significant growth going into 2021.
So what can we expect as more states reopen throughout this transition month? Joining us now to discuss, White House economic advisor Kevin Hassett. Kevin, thanks for being with us this morning. Really appreciate it. Give us the White House perspective on the month of May. What is your hope when the month is out? Where do you hope we'll be?
Well, I think what we're seeing is that probably by the end of May, almost every state will be mostly open economically. Right now, there's a heck of a lot of gradual opening going on. Even some states are starting with safe distancing and so on to follow our guidelines and open even restaurants safely. And so I expect that what's going to happen is that we're going to gain more and more experience about how to run our economy safely. At the same time, our access to testing is going to go way up, and our access to medical supplies so that we don't have to worry about hitting capacity should people get sick will go up. And we're going to monitor the situation closely, but make no mistake about it that it's really, really good news that we've been able to open up as soon as we have, and to do so according to the guidelines that Drs. Birx and Fauci have set out, because that means that the sort of harm from stopping the economy is reduced significantly by getting it going sooner.
Well, it's great news. I mean, everyone wants to be back out and open again. What indicators are you going to be looking at the most closely, either health or economic, as you gauge how powerful the return is?
You know, everybody in the White House gets daily updates on what's going on with the disease in every state. We even have it at the county level. And we're also getting data every week on claims for unemployment insurance. And, next Friday we'll get a jobs report, which will be the first glimpse of sort of how bad the shutdown has hurt things. And so we're watching everything we can get our hands on. We also have access to credit card data so that we can get like a real-time glimpse at what's going on in the places that are open as opposed to the places that are closed. But, make no mistake about it, what's going to happen is that we're going to minimize the harm by opening now as much as we can, but you're going to see some economic data over the next few months that's as bad as you've ever seen. We turned the economy completely off, which is something that just hasn't ever happened before. And so you are going to see a very big increase in the unemployment rate, a very big decline, as Larry Kudlow mentioned, in second quarter GDP. But most forecasters expect the second half can rebound from that. And the sooner we get going, the more likely it is that that'll be true.
Kevin, you mentioned credit card debt. A lot of people are sitting on that. Or businesses have been helped by the PPP. They're funding their payrolls, but they're waiting and to see what happens next. There's already talk possibly on Capitol Hill of a fourth stimulus bill. Democrats pointing towards states, Republicans saying, hey, let's not bail out the fiscal irresponsibility of states through a coronavirus bill. If more comes from Washington, what should it look like?
Right. Well, the president has said that he categorically rejects the idea of a bailout for states that have been irresponsible for a long time. But to the extent that the costs of COVID on states, blue and red, all of them are high enough that maybe they need financial support, then he's willing to negotiate about that should there be a phase 4 deal. I think right now, because there's been good news, really, that the opening up is starting to happen, faster than we expected, appears to be doing so safely, then there is a chance that we won't really need a phase 4. And so I think that what the president has told us is to, update him every day on the status of everything and to be kind of in a wait-and-see mode. And at the same time, what we're doing is we're developing plans for whatever eventuality occurs. And so if it gets worse, we've got a plan for that as well.
We got to leave it right there. Kevin Hassett, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.